Welcome to the course. This course will explain the ins and outs of food safety and show supervisors how they can run a tight ship when it comes to standards in a catering company or organization. This module will introduce you to the basics of food safety so that you have a firm grounding in the principles of food hygiene and law. So without further delay, let's begin. Managers, chefs, and supervisory staff in kitchens and food preparation areas need to be fully acquainted with every aspect of food safety from manufacturer to consumer. It is their responsibility to ensure that all legal standards are met and that the business's reputation for quality service and food are maintained to the highest possible standards. All food workers have both ethical and legal responsibilities towards the public, who are both the customers and literal consumers of food products. It is a supervisor's job to keep those responsibilities at the forefront of the mind. Food must be safe to eat, protected from hazards and harmless to the consumer. Poor handling of food can have serious consequences such as food poisoning, pest infestations, high business costs, prosecution and fines, loss of employment, legal action, the closure of business, imprisonment, bad publicity, excessive waste. Hence, high hygiene standards are a must when working with food. This ensures to prevent food poisoning, allergic reactions and cross-contamination. As a result, you get to keep a good reputation among customers and in the food industry. Now, let's discuss the different food types and the hazards involved. As bacteria, viruses and molds reproduce rapidly under specific conditions, particular foods are more likely to carry them. These are known as high-risk foods. Most are ready-to-eat food and include the following examples: shellfish and other seafood, pre-cooked fish, poultry and meat, including deli meats, cheese, cream, fresh milk, eggs and other dairy products, stocks, gravies, sauces, chowders and soups, pre-cooked pasta and rice, unwashed leafy greens, salad and fruit, vegetable sprouts. Food which doesn't usually need to be chilled or kept warm is termed lower-risk food and can be dried or preserved in some way. The removal of warmth and moisture takes away two essential encouragements for bacterial growth. When out on the shelves, such foods usually have a best before, use by or shelf life date on their packaging. Well-known examples include crisps, corn chips, crackers, cakes, biscuits, canned food, etc. However, when you take most of these out of their packaging, they rapidly transform into high-risk foods. This means that they should be stored and eaten precisely as the manufacturer's packaging instruction recommends. As we have seen that high-risk foods are ready to eat, and that's why we have to observe certain strict protocols for them by law. All ready-to-eat raw foods should be washed in clean water, stored in well-covered or sealable containers after washing, kept separately from cooked food, have utensils used on them washed before and after use, kept away from unwashed plates that have had other foods placed on them, stored underneath cooked foods, if necessary, preferably chilled. Raw food should not be allowed to touch or drip onto ready-to-eat food in case harmful bacteria are transferred during cross-contamination, the major cause of food poisoning. You must understand that bacteria can also be spread from hands, clothes, cleaning cloths, knives and chopping boards when preparing food. Hence, a proper hygiene regime is essential. Next, we will cover food poisoning. The most common and tenacious hazard in catering is always food poisoning. The dominant cause of such illnesses is microbiological contamination, that is, bacteria, viruses or molds in the food. These invisible organisms rapidly spread infection and disease. as well as introducing toxins to the food and your body. However, food poisoning is not just one illness. There are many forms that are caused by different kinds of pathogenic bacteria. A carrier is a term for someone who harbors and can potentially pass on a pathogen, even though they may not show any signs of illness themselves. Any catering worker has the potential to be a foodborne illness carrier. Supervisors must ensure that any infected personnel are prevented from transferring bacteria to the food by appropriate control measures, or by the simple expedient of keeping them away from the food and preparation areas. People in society who are most susceptible to contract illnesses from bacteria, encouraged by poor food hygiene, are called vulnerable risk groups. They include young children under 5 years old, older people over 65, the immunocompromised, pregnant women, drug users. Vulnerable risk groups form up to 20% of the entire UK population, which means that proper food safety measures are essential for almost everyone. In this video, we have introduced the basics of hygiene, food types, and the hazards relating to not being hygienic. To learn more, keep watching and see you in the next module.